And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let Me Just Say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father,
Hello, guys.
we have D Wolf,
Greetings.
and we have Crystal.
Hola,
How are we doing today, folks?
I'm tired, Ray.
excelente.
I'm fatigued.
Chilling.
This it has also been a weird week for me, but I guess we can. uh, I don't. This week I've realized I don't know if I could be a parent to teen kids. Is there, Crystal? Is there any way I can like ship teen kids off to someone else? And I
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
can I just send them
So,
to like academy school or like Hogwarts or something? They're Hogwarts, so I could just.
you know what? I really wish a Hogwarts existed in real life. I know it probably does. We just got to look for it and go to the subway station that we think Hogwarts would be. But that's funny.
Shoot,
That's
all I'm saying,
hilarious.
if my son or daughter could be a wizard or something like that. Oh yeah, go take your ass on for free. Go ahead, just go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
We going on vacation. But all right, let's get to the news. I guess we could start off with kind of like what's been running this whole week. The shooting that happened in New York. Uh, I'm looking for the story, but if y'all didn't know, there was a shooting that happened on the subway in New York, and I can't remember his real name, but I know that the guy he used to
Frank
be.
James.
Say it again.
Frank James, the shooter?
Frank James, that's his name. Okay,
Yeah.
because I know him as the Prophet of Truth or something like that on YouTube, and I remember watching his YouTube videos back then when I was like young, because that's how long he's been on. And just to cut it short, how do y'all feel about what conspired during this week with the shooting?
Something about this is fishy. And I don't know what it is, but I'ma just wait and see. Cause wasn't they sitting there talking about a lot of the cameras in the subway system don't work?
Yeah,
Bruh. That's kind of terrifying if you ask me. That's our entire subway system. People got, shot up. You know what I'm saying? Regular people minding their business got shot up. And you're fucking telling me that the subway system doesn't have cameras? Something what? Hello? Bruh. That's wild.
what about you, D Wolf? I've also seen that you show some stuff on Instagram where it's just like it might be there's also something fishy, because I do agree with Father.
My story. Yeah, because it's always the case. Like every time there's a mass shooting, the FBI always knew about this person and somehow they missed it. Somehow, oh my God. I don't even know where to start because the whole subway thing was weird. There was three people. One person stepped on a bag and blood came out of it. Another person, the one that limped out of the train, like this guy, it was like the fake. I've like, all right, he just came out the train. Then he started wailing. Then he laid himself down slowly on the ground and put his hand all the way in the air and was wailing and started screaming. Then this one chick ran to the corner and started spraying fake blood on the floor and then went back in the train and started spraying it too. I'm like, what is this? What am I watching here? And I know the mindset of New Yorkers, especially after 9/11, the mindset, like if we know something with the news that we've seen going on around the world since then, where we saw, I think there was like a nerve gas incident or something like that. All that stuff was going on. People, I know if I was there, and I would guess anyone else here too, was there, we're booking it. Unless we have family or friends that we got to look out behind for, we're booking it. We see smoke, we're booking it. We hear shots, we're booking it. These people were lingering. One Chinese to turn around and started taking recording on his phone and chilling like it was nothing. It was the weirdest shit ever. I'm like, yo, this looked like these people, half of them look like extras on a set. I don't know what's going on. And yeah, it's convenient. The cameras didn't work. Like I'm getting Epstein vibes. So, and wasn't that in New York too? Man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's so fucking and don't get me wrong, when these things happen, like people have this thing when people say false flag, they think all of it's fake. No, false flag also includes people actually getting killed, but there are also crisis actors involved that would love to run to the news and say what they saw, and it'll be the same person that happened, like that witnessed it like a few months ago in a different state in a different situation. Like I've already posted that. It was one lady just kept appearing at like 3 different mass shootings and had something different to say each time. It was the same fucking lady. So this looks like one of those cases. This is I don't even because I can't take it seriously to even feel any way other than the people who are actually killed. But like this is all FBI shit, and we already know. We already know what the FBI is about. We learned that since MLK. So
I'm just stuck on the fact that if these are truly New Yorkers and I've lived there basically my whole entire life, why were people just standing around? I understand that people are hurt. I've been in shootouts before in Brooklyn, and nobody stayed in one fucking place. Even if somebody got shot, we're carrying that motherfucker to the nearest building to get out of the way, something. We're not just going to have the person lay down on the platform and look around. Everybody is man for themselves. So this was really strange to watch people just standing there on their phones, taking pictures. It's not normal. And then we got to realize 9/11 did happen. So I'm guessing that, if we really wanted to believe that this was a factual, um, it's just the whole thing just looks weird. But if we were to believe that everything happened naturally and this was organically happening, can we say that no one is that fearless that they hear gunshots and they just stay in place, or the smoke is there and they've been or had an idea of how 9/11 started? So the whole thing just does not seem right. And of all boroughs, Brooklyn.
I feel like they chose that city in particular because of the stereotype of us not being shocked at anything. Because they'll use that excuse as to, so why wasn't anybody running away? What's going on? Why is everybody saying, well, it's New York, you know them. That's why I feel like they chose that city. Oh my God.
I had that same assumption. It's just like people just look at it like just another day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since like New York is always busy. I think I, I, I wanted to take approach of the guy, because like you said, it's kind of like it's the weirdest thing. But the approach I had was like if this was like a real thing, the guy, he's obviously been frustrated from because he was born from, I guess, the apartheid and the system. I don't want to get all like super black, but like he was just tired of the system of the white supremacy, because like I said, he was on YouTube and he's always talked about black issues and communities and stuff. And I guess I don't know. They said he was still recording videos to this day. So I wanted to say it's just like I'm looking at a man who's just at his breaking point about how the world is today, and maybe he was just tired. So, but like all the stuff y'all was talking about, all and the whole camera things. Actually, I didn't know that until I went into your Instagram stories, D Wolf, and then I was like, oh Lord, it's like let me find out this whole thing is a fucking hoax, and then it's just look. I don't think it's the last thing we need is a fake shooting or a weird shooting to get people riled up, especially for the past 2 years. we we've been stuck inside and you're like on edge. So why are we just trying to either scare people or make people more pissed off? So, but I guess the government is like that. It's just like I guess you just want us to run on chaos.
Yeah, it's convenient because they want us arguing all the time, especially about race. Because if you notice, every time a black person does this, they're always black supremacists. Is all like the what was that in Chicago? The Waukesha driver. It's basically the same story, but this time with a gun, and you know. And I'm like, they're just trying to have us argue because, like I said before, with the whole news thing, when they have to report if there's a suspect, right? If he's white, you'll hear about it, but if he's of color, you will never hear what they are until they have them, which makes zero sense. So in that case, now we have the white people saying, hey, how come you can't say this? And it's just to have us arguing. And conveniently, he's legit black supremacist. Conveniently, it so happens to happen when I think the lieutenant governor, the same time, the lieutenant governor got arrested for, I forgot what was the crime, like sexual assault or something.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, and they had to ask the acting governor, like, hey, so what about this? And she had like, oh no, we're worried about this right now. I'll get back to you. I'm sure she didn't. So I'm like, these people playing games with us, and I'm like, that's why that's why I like picking these things apart, because I don't like people having to argue over bullshit that the news and the government just generate.
Yeah, the last and I'm gonna just repeat this. The last thing we need is another fucking controversy. And as far as black people, the last thing we fucking need is us being at each other's throats for like no fucking reason. But I guess, like I said, I guess that's what the word. Like I said, the world wants to run in chaos. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Turn off the news.
Go outside. Just go. That's what I guess.
That too.
Yeah. Go see sunlight. That's usually what I be telling people. On to our next topic. How y'all feel about T.I. getting booed on stage?
Word for what?
He was doing comedy. He's I don't know if you. I know you don't really follow most rappers, but T.I.'s been doing comedy, and I guess he had an event and he was getting booed the fuck out of because his shit wasn't funny, and it's funny because like he also tried to. I guess most people say he tried to pull a Will Smith, some girl,
Lord.
Because he got to an argument with a female comedian because she brought up his sexual assault allegations, and he just basically got on stage and tried to stop her from telling her jokes and shit. So,
it's funny. He's just like him. He's just a comedic actor. Like, I love him in movies. He's like, especially in Ant-Man. I can't wait to see T.I. in Ant-Man every time he shows up, because that's his thing in movies. He's like the dude that will make you laugh. He has like the best lines and shit. But but for some reason they feel like they could do stand-up, but they can't take a joke.
Well, my whole thing with at least with T.I.'s point or anybody that does comedian, if you got to learn. I know there's a lot of comedians. I think Donnell Rawlings is kind of like that too. You got to know how to take a joke as well as give a joke, especially since you're going to be in a role where someone is either just as funny or funnier than you. So, like, and then they're going to, and then like with sometimes with jokes, they're going to bring up things that that's going to push the edge a little bit, especially like if they're going to be talking about your sexual allegations things. You gotta sometimes you gotta take it. So
being a celebrity, it's gonna be talked about. You gotta prepare yourself, yo.
Yeah. But as far as him getting booed on stage, I mean, I guess he could just take that as a learning experience. But I never really. It's funny you say that. I never really looked at T.I. as a comedian. I didn't really look at him as a funny guy, to tell you the truth. I think he talks funny, but that's just because he be using big words with his country ass accent. But I never look like he's never like someone that I just laugh at because he's funny.
It's only in the movies.
It's funny you say that too. It's like, cause I mean, he was good at Ant-Man, and I thought he had an all right line in Dolomite, but I wouldn't really think like he's funny to where he could start doing comedy shows. I don't know.
Exactly. Where'd that come from? I mean, I ain't mad at him for trying, but come on.
Yeah, I ain't mad. What about you? How you feel about this?
Who'd you ask?
Father, you.
Oh, yeah, I saw the video and like, first of all, I didn't even really understand the joke that he was saying. Like he was making some joke and then people was like booing him or whatever. Then he was like trying to play it off. I don't know. It was just weird. Because like usually when you,
right?
I think, no, I don't think it was in New York. I do think it was East Coast.
Because if it was in New York, I could see them booing him because New York, especially if you're at the Apollo, New York niggas will boo you if you're not funny.
Yeah, they will boo the shit out of you and not give a fuck.
Yeah, they're ruthless.
Yeah, it was in Brooklyn. Yeah, it was in Brooklyn.
I thought so. I was at. Anytime where I see someone boo somebody, it's always in New York. Shout out to Brooklyn.
Yeah, shout out to Brooklyn, bro. Yeah, like
BK.
Yeah, and another thing is the argument that he had with the female comedian, like that shit was so unnecessary. That's what I was like. This is an unnecessary argument. First of all, second of all, it's comedy. Like, what is with these dudes going after these comedians, bro? Is it hitting too close to home? But at the same time, I mean, because like I understand, like you don't want your business out there, but at the same time, it's like already out there. So, you really don't want to hear the shit people have been saying about you. First of all, so I don't know. I feel like with comedians nowadays, this like notion that they gotta watch what they say and shit like that. It's like, I mean, but their only material is what they see and what's out there. So if your shit is out there, whose fault is that? So like I understand both sides type shit, but yeah, that's crazy. Shout out to Brooklyn though.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you how you feel that comedians feel like they gotta watch what they say now, and they feel like a lot of people don't know how to take a joke.
Yeah, because like everybody keeps mentioning it. Like comedians, like that's their thing. They make light of fucked up situations. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes people get so much in their feelings because they didn't have the what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? They didn't have like the mindset to keep their shit separate from the outside world. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing something or you're going through something, like not everybody has to know type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, they have such big platforms that when they do things, people judge them. But I don't know why comedians gotta like watch themselves or why they gotta like censor themselves because again, the shit is already out there. You know what I'm saying? It'll be another situation if a comedian was talking about something nobody really knows or something personal about somebody's business that's not out there. Then yeah, it would be malicious. But if your shit is out there, everything's fair game to the comedian. You either got to learn to laugh with it, and if you're the type to get offended, well, then don't have your shit out there.
And the thing about comedians, when they're together, that's all they do.
Yeah.
They just roast each other, and they'll say the darkest shit, whatever is out there. They will do that to each other, and they're just laughing about it. It does not hurt them. So when a regular person shows up, or a regular celebrity that's not in that field, when they start hearing shit, they get triggered because they're not used to that. That's not their lane. So they need to know that going in. Like these people have tough skin. So that's why some of them have to be like well, Chris Rock did. He made that thing so soft. He could have gone deeper and he didn't because he knows. He's like, nah, this ain't my friends. This ain't Comedy Central roast. So let me dial it back. This ain't my comedy special. So I'll dial it back and make this a soft punch. They don't get that. So even the soft punches will start triggering people.
Yo, you know what's sad about that? Because what Will Smith tried to accomplish, he didn't accomplish nothing. Everything he wanted to accomplish is about people stop talking about his wife and stuff. Especially comedians, they went harder. So I've heard I don't know if you let's watch Andrew Schultz or something like that, but he had a whole roast like at the beginning of his show and just like roasting Will and Jada, and it was just that shit.
Jesus.
Like this is why a lot of people say, "Oh, he could like Chris Rock could have went worse." Like I've heard a lot of not just like Andrew Schultz, but a whole bunch of other comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they showed you, you should have heard the stuff I could have said, or
Yeah.
like the repertoire jokes I really had. These motherfuckers been going at it, and I'm sorry, Will, not to bring this up again, but whatever you was trying to accomplish, it didn't work at all. It's like the equivalent of you telling a bully to stop hitting you, and he just keeps punching you. That's what I looked at it as. Crystal, what you think?
Um, to be honest, I just think we live in a time that people cannot say whatever the fuck they want to say. Um, and it's a lot of filtering going on, leaving people to not deal with the fact that somebody else can say something and you do not have to get offended. You do not have to get emotionally attached to something that you know is one, a joke. They made it very fucking clear. And two, it doesn't pertain to you. The minute something triggers you because your ass is mentally ill, you want to take it out on the person telling the joke. And I think it's utterly fucking ridiculous. And it's a display of toxic ego. So yeah, I think that Ti tried his best to be a comedian. It did not fucking work. And him attacking another comedian shows why it didn't fucking work, because him himself is the kind of people that I just described.
They ain't ready. They are not ready.
I hope most of these comedians, or if you're going to do comedy, you got to know how to have some backbone. And while we're on this subject, I think a lot of celebrities, if I know we live in this now era where like people get to know a little bit more about your life, and this is like a side note, but we don't need to know everything. May know. I don't need to know I don't need to know that you have a kink that you want white girls to you want to role play as a runaway slave to white women.
Oh
So I don't.
Lord.
And then you want to play it off like it's a damn joke and say, "Nah, nigga, you serious." uh, Matt. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
They ain't
Talk
ready.
shit, get hit.
Yep.
Also, leave them white women alone if you especially have kinks like that. I just.
Oh God, I
Nothing but
bruh.
trouble.
How do y'all feel about Elon Musk trying to buy Twitter for like 42 billion?
Yo, fuck that dude. He's a phony. He's 100% fraud. So this is all a game. Just to have people arguing all over again, left versus right. I've seen the Twitters. I'm like, yo, this is funny. That dude's a phony. Everything he's done is a lie.
I just want to know what are you going to do with Twitter if you buy it? So like, what's
Well, the narrative is because he's trying to fall into the right side of the political spectrum by, promoting free speech and, how about an edit button, guys? Or how about I bring Trump back? Or, this censorship is killing us, isn't it? All this stuff just to get the right side riled up, And oh man, he's just an opportunist. Oh, what a joker, yo. Because I'm down for what he's supposedly doing, but I know he ain't gonna do it.
I think Elon Musk is going to destroy the world, but that's just my stupid opinion.
Yeah, I keep saying, like, if at every post when it comes to him, I'm like, when it comes to this, I'm like, if anybody's seen any comic book or movie or anything like that, right? I usually use Lex Luthor. I'm like, doesn't Lex Luthor do shit like this just to get the masses on his side? Unbeknownst to them, that dude's fucking evil. Like, yo, that's all I'm seeing.
You know
Because
what's
where were
funny?
you
I
all
was
this
thinking
time?
like,
Where were you when Twitter was fucking with you in the beginning? Now all of it out of nowhere you come up with this. Nah. And you had more money. Stop. Yo.
you know, you know what's funny, D Wolf? I was thinking it's like Elon Musk is like Les Luger if you actually let him do what the fuck he want.
Mhm.
I was actually like
Dude's just showing off blow torches and shit. Like, come on.
him building robots and then
Mhm.
trying to. It was like I've been saying this ever since he's like you try to make a Tesla robot, just so they could do jobs that people want. I said, but this gonna put people out of work.
Yep.
And then what do you think they're gonna do? I
And the
said,
whole
damn the
Neuralink
iRobot
thing.
shit. Oh yeah, the Neuralink thing. I was like, but I remember him having a speech. It's just like he thinks the next step is like us fusing with androids or something like that.
Yep. That's a mistake. Then you end up like
Uh,
Teslas. Just shut you
I was about,
down.
yeah, I was like, no, no, no.
Because like he could easily just be like, oh, I spent all my money on Twitter. Now I run Twitter. And now if the government gets a hold of Tesla, nobody can say anything anymore. Especially if they already own it. If people already own Teslas, then he just gives it up to the government, just like, and now he has no say. Like, oh, it wasn't me, the government did it, as if you ain't talking to the government making this plan already. When they decide to shut you down because you want to protest on something, like this is a whole big scheme. And I read, yo, dude's not real.
That's what. Nah, my thing is though, like, what enabled somebody to be a billionaire in the first place? Like, what are you gonna do with all that motherfucking money? You know what I'm saying? Like, could you imagine having $1 billion, like, or being a billionaire, having that much, money?
And
You
that's
don't know what
family
to do with
money.
it. You know
That's
what I'm
family
saying?
money. He lied. That's one thing. That's how I knew he was bullshit. He lied. He said his pops was poor and shit like that. His pops had so much money, yo. I'm sure he got it from his dad. That's how he got his
Yeah,
start up.
he benefited from apartheid too.
So how you
Like,
lie about your upbringing like that?
I guess he wanted to show people he was part of the people instead of uh, I guess he wanted to get the poor people to like him. That's at least that's my opinion. I think a lot, hey, I'm one of you guys, but you can't be one of us, especially if you're like the 1%. Hell, not even the 1%. You're like the 0.001%.
yeah, he's like 0.00001%.
Yeah,
Which is crazy
like,
to me. Like, why would you want to be in that type of position? You know how alienating that fucking is? You're going to have nothing in common with really anybody. So, yeah, like you said, you do these grandiose ass gestures, but you're not like, what is authentic about you? Like, what are you doing with this money, first of all? Are you just going to try to impress people, or are you actually going to try to make the world a fucking better place? Because the only institutions that should be having billions of dollars is countries. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that individuals have that type of money. So what? Now they're worth entire countries. This one person, this one motherfucker, he get COVID, he might die. This nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, like people need to put shit into perspective. And I just feel like this gesture Elon Musk is doing with this whole Twitter shit, or what he's doing with Tesla, and bruh, you could be helping so many people. You could literally fix issues at the snap of a finger, and you just refuse to do it. I think that's my biggest issue.
He's one African American you can't trust.
He's not no damn African. Let's not even
that's like Dog the Bounty Hunter saying he's Apache. Shut the
like,
fuck up.
nigga, shut the fuck up. Remember when Elizabeth Warren tried that shit too? I'm Native
Oh my
American. Like, where?
Bitch, where?
The hell? Now what they got? What they're calling it? Transracial or whatever?
Oh boy.
Like, what the hell?
Isn't that what they was called? What's her name? Rachel Dolezal, transracial.
Mm-hmm.
That is a new form of just undesirability. I'm not even going to talk about.
Oh, I thought it got real worse when it was like, I don't know. You probably heard of the story when the some white gay guy just like got plastic surgery so he could be Korean.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
And,
Oh, well, because he was inspired by the K-pop bands, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
And I said, this is the most cringy, and everybody agreed, but this is like the most cringiest shit I have ever seen in my life. Is that this is what the world is going to? Oh man, this is why I say maybe we should bully people. I don't know this.
Nah, we do.
I don't want to
But
say that, but
no, all right.
I say
I'm gonna put it
shame
like
them,
this.
yo. Shame.
No, I'm gonna put it
Shame
I
like
can
don't,
be
this.
a
I don't
good
want to
thing.
go shame. It's just we should tell them don't do it. Just don't.
Nah, I mean, yeah, shaming is basically the same concept, but I understand what you mean when you say bullying. Like we have to, but it has to be used for good, not evil.
Yeah,
Bully for good, not evil. Like if somebody is touching a woman inappropriately, bully that. Like, oh, you a fuck nigga. Like,
yeah, something
but
like
somebody,
that.
yeah, but if somebody minding their business, being weird or whatever, don't bully that. Like, just the Lord gonna handle them.
Sanity.
Yeah, I don't want to be around that because I'm gonna say something. I learned something that today that I won't speak about on this podcast, but I learned that uh, I say things at the wrong time, or I just can't. There's some things I can't keep quiet about, and I thought I stopped this, but AI. Then I realized like all the shit that happened to AI, and I'm like, no, I can't shut my mouth for shit. It's like
But
I'm going to say something. It's like, what is
let me
wrong
tell
with
you,
you?
that has been some of the funniest shit I've ever heard a human being say. The shit that has come out your mouth.
I never met such school full of such awkward kids in my life, but it's just, and God bless them because some of them don't know, but it's just, oh my God, please.
It's like
Y'all have to go.
your future is not bright. Like, I'm not saying that to be mean, but I'm just being realistic. Like, bruh, y'all niggas are dumb. Y'all need to get it together.
I look at half of it, it's like, y'all realize you have to go out in public, right?
Like, why can't y'all just conduct yourselves like people? You know what I mean? I don't know. Them motherfuckers were awkward, but God bless them though. Wherever
God
they
bless them. God bless all of them. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Elon's a phony.
When this world turns into iRobot, shout out to I don't want to hear shit because
Man.
I already seen it coming. Um, on to our next topic. We're gonna be talking about Tashina Arnold and the question she put on Twitter, which is honest question: what can we, as a black woman in America, do to stop aiding in the emasculation of black men in America? And it's weird because I seen anytime when a black woman, speak highly about a black man or like in favor of black men, is always like some uproar about from the opposite sex, or at least the women that you don't agree. But
Shea Butter Twitter.
yeah, Shea Butter Twitter, which is sad because I do like some of the people with Shea Butter Twitter, but it's just like
You're hurt.
you know this is a problem.
Yeah, you're hurt.
This is a problem, but it seems like you don't care about our problems, more or less your problems. So, Crystal, I'm gonna actually come to you first. I know you don't do this, but do you? I know you don't do this at all, but do you have an answer to what Sheena Arnold was asking?
It's a loaded question as usual because there's so many parts of this fucked up puzzle. I think, to be truly honest, and it's gonna sound kind of Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Um, the only way that this can happen is if we gather a lot of the women in America that just happen to be black and take them to places where women do not have to be masculine. They need to see it work. A couple of places to take these women to, like a retreat and a unlearning of fuckery, so that they don't do it to their son, and their son doesn't get women that's like their mom that is very toxic. So we want to go to places like Africa. We want to go to places like Asian countries. And it's kind of like someone who's on drugs, okay, and they know they need help. They have to come to these type of programs if they are readily available to go. And to be honest, I don't see any program that caters to the unlearning of Black women utilizing their masculinity to feel like they are in power. They do not know how to be vulnerable. Now, when I say Black women, I'm not meaning all, because some people would listen to this podcast and get stuck on the fuckery just to avoid accountability, or the fact that they are demasculating the very Black man in their house, which starts with their son or their husband or someone that's close to them that's telling them, hey, you know, you don't have to speak to me in that tone. You don't always have to have your way when it's a negative um, part for you to play in, things of that nature. It's like we have to unlearn what we've learned, and we have to be able to be vulnerable in order to make sure that we play our role, and let Black men play theirs.
I like that answer. I don't know if I asked you this, but Chris, I don't know if I asked you this question, but let's say like if you're back on the dating scene and you make more money than the guy you're dating, uh, would you feel a type of way that you are making more than the guy you are dating, or do you feel
No.
like no?
Hmm.
Because I know a lot of women is just like they can't be with someone that makes less than them, and I guess that's where they feel like the respect stops. So
Okay.
that's basically where I'm asking that question, because
This
I feel
is
like that's
this
where
is.
a lot of the
Hmm.
emasculation comes from. Because I think in this era, in this country, a lot of women do make as much or more than some of the male counterparts, and
Hmm.
since a lot of things are just run on money, or they feel like to protect their value you gotta have money. I feel like that's where most of the emasculation starts. So that's
Right. Right. And it's really stupid for any woman to think because she makes more money than a man that she's she can't date them, or if she ends up being with them. I mean, anything could happen. So say for instance, the way that most Black women make their money is by working for someone else, correct?
right.
Correct.
So if you are working for another man that is not your husband or someone that you're laying in bed with, how is this any different with being with a man that makes money as well? It doesn't matter what amount. Either way, if you're making more than the man, you should be collaborating with the man that he is, whatever money he's making, and building something upon that. So you're not working for a man that's not your husband. You're working for yourself and the man that you are planning to build with. People tend to forget that money cannot bring affection. It can't bring things that a man brings into a house, especially when it comes to fixing stuff in a house. If you're okay with giving another man all this money to fix things in your house because you can't date a man that has a higher pay, then you are really stupid. And what runs your life is not yourself, it's money. So at the end of the day, I just can't look at what a man makes and say, oh, well, depending on that, that's where I'll date him or not, because that man could be making a six-figure income and beating your ass every night. Let's keep it real, you know? So that's just my take on it.
Uh, I like that answer as well. Fellas, how do you feel about the question that Tashina Arnold put out on Twitter?
I have no problem with the question. I see she was like, people got mad at her for it. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that question. She just, it seems to me, and she said, honest question, honest question, what can we do, in America to stop aiding the emasculation of black men in America? And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. That's a legit question. One person said, reject feminism. I'm like, yep, yep, that's a problem because of nothing but bad shit to say. And they're always cheering it on when it's in the media and everything. Everything's, gay this, trans that. I'm like, yo, can we just live? Do you have to make it and attack the man and emasculate the man at the same time? Can we just live? Can we just celebrate what you are and who you are? If you're trans, if you're gay, okay, you're up there, do your thing, but let's do this. Or if you're a woman, if you're up, just do this without tearing us down, because most of the time these people are using their own personal things that they had to deal with like an abusive dude or something like that, as if this is every guy. Everybody, like I said, evil doesn't discriminate. So you can't leave just because you had a bad experience with a man or have bad luck with a man doesn't mean it's every dude. Just because a man is rich and he's powerful and he's doing what he has to do, he's not capable, or he's automatically evil. Or if he's in charge of something. Not everybody that's in charge of a company or something like, or hiring is a Harvey Weinstein just because he's fat, and and that's how they keep throwing these things out there. It's at a point where you can't, as a man, you can't be anything without having to worry about how they look at it this way, because that example is out there and it's always portrayed. They find every little thing to say, oh, but you can't trust him. He's a pretty boy. You know what he'll do. It just keeps going down the line, and we can't even be anything or do anything. We have to always head on a swivel when it comes to women. Then when we back up and we have to take extra care, that becomes a problem too. So that's a legit question, and it's up to us. And one guy got mad that she asked us and said, I appreciate the gesture, Miss Arnold, but I don't know if this is your responsibility. That's not what she asked. She didn't ask anything about no responsibility. She asked, what can women do? What can we do to help this problem? I didn't ask for you to hire me to do this shit. We're asking because I'm sure she sees that they're causing us trouble too, because it's based on how they are reacting to what we do. It's based on what they say we're doing wrong. There's not enough voices of women's voices saying we're doing right, as if that's not out there, as if that doesn't exist. And most of the time when we hear about this stuff, it's always some damn celebrity anyway, as if every man out there is a fucking celebrity when they go through these problems. There's always some bad news story on the news. That's why you're going to hear when this person was being homophobic, or this one's a wife beater, and this and that. You're going to hear that. That's the news. You're going to hear the bad shit. This shit sells. So it's in our brains. That's what we're thinking. So now when you portray it as if it's everything every day, oh my God, look out for this. That's the mindset of everyone. So yeah, my answer will be, yo, speak up on how good your husband is, or how good your daughter's husband is, or what your son's doing, or this and that. Speak up on it, yo. Use your celebrity to do some good. That will be my answer to her. And stop and say something about this. If you have something to say about everything else, because we don't like hearing you, but if you're going to open up your damn mouth, say something good about the black man. Straight up. Because not enough of Hollywood does that. But they want to complain about what black men have to deal with, but y'all ain't helping at all. Look at your shit. Look at the TV shows. Every time a black man has to be a hero, the woman has to come in and be like, yo, don't tell me that he didn't have that answer. Don't tell me he's not capable. Nobody's saying she has to be a damsel in distress all the time. But yo, don't act like he couldn't handle it. Because I'm sure I've seen so many shows where there's a black lead and the dude just does something out of character just so they could push that we're retarded or the woman is better. Like, can't she be better in her own right without tearing us down? Stop. But yeah.
Father, what do you think?
I think it's a fair question to ask. I also kind of see where the other people are coming from when they're when like they kind of got on her, and the only reason I kind of understand where they're coming from is because they have been subject to the same education that we have. You have to understand that the image of the black man and black people in general has been like maligned for so many motherfucking years. People out there legitimately believe that black men are the boogeymen. There are people that legitimately think black women are the most vile, unattractive creatures on this earth because that's how they have been conditioned. You know what I'm saying? The unconscious mind is very, very powerful. It absorbs so much shit that people don't actually realize that they're absorbing until it's too late. And then all of a sudden you see people with the same type of mentality like gravitate towards each other because they were subject to that same conditioning. It's the same shit that's happening with this question. When we're talking about emasculation, we're not talking about turning men into women like literally. But what we're talking about is a deliberate effort to remove the black man's role in the family unit. That's what we're trying to get these people to understand. Nobody is saying that the man being in power in a relationship is somehow going to be this patriarchal dictatorship where the woman is subservient to everything the man desires. Like most women would not want to be with a man like that anyway, and it's unfair to project that towards women who don't have that type of objective in the first place when they're looking for a mate. But again, the conditioning that black men are these like boogeymen, that's the issue. That's what we're trying to combat because that has been a running thing for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? And when Tanisha Arnold, God bless her, by the way, when she asked this question, she was trying to get black women to see where their consciousness is at when it comes to this issue. And then you see what happened. You see the reality. We don't even have to say anything. You saw it. It was right there, right in front of your eyes for you to see. It just goes to show you that they have been effective in misleading and maligning the fucking problem in the first place. So when it comes to actually solving the problem that we're talking about, it doesn't only require people asking questions and getting answers, but it's what it requires is looking at the root of the problem through history and then using that information to reverse engineer what has happened to us, not only on a psychological level, but also on an emotional level as well. Because every single time some nigga is trying to fix the problems of the black community, some other niggas got a problem with it. Every single motherfucking time. And it's just like, bruh, we're talking about the emasculation of black men. This is really not the time for you to be getting angry. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This is really not the time to be getting in your feelings. Like, you would fucking come at me if you was talking about how there's a huge domestic violence issue in the black community. You would be mad at me if I went, oh, well, what about? I'm like, what do you mean, what about? This is an issue right now. So we're talking about it, right? So when these conversations are happening, I'm just tired of these Negroes popping their head every single time they hear something they don't like. Like, it's not about you. And a lot of people need to hear that. It's not about you.
Yep.
How many times have we said that exact line?
Bro, Ray, yo, I just want to shout out to my boy Shazzy because that has got to be the greatest 4 words I've ever heard in a sentence ever. And like, it fixes everything. It has not failed me yet.
It's not about you.
It's not like, damn.
I mean, yeah, and like I don't like men and women do this. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations that doesn't even concern us, don't even, but we don't even need to be in, and sometimes it's not even in our business. But sometimes we like to put ourselves in the business of others. But this one, they say black people are my business. I get, I like the question that she asked, but you also see that there are a lot of people, especially women, feel like they're not the problem. And I think this is, to me, the answer. And I know she asked women, but the answer is really just like what they say: hand over hand, or fist over. One hand helps the other. I think that's the saying. It's just like we both, in other words, we both need each other. And for what I've been saying that the longest, because us as black people, we are at the bottom of the totem pole. Last thing we need to be arguing is who got it worse or who's at the bottom. We're both at the bottom. We
This
both
is
need
one
to
of the
help each other
reasons.
get through. Yeah, and we both need to help each other get to the top. For one, I've always said this. It's just like we, as far as some women do, y'all put men in positions to that I don't want to say it will exceed, but some men will never get there, and that's fine because that's what only that's the reason why like only 10% make like 100K or something like that. And I ain't even get more money, but there are some people that just not going to live up to your expectations of what you get. That's fine. Either get with someone that will, or just I don't want to say settle, but just deal with what you have. But um as far as emasculation goes, I know like there are times that I know black men we sometimes we go out the way to disrespect black women, sometimes we don't, and black men will admit that we don't need to be doing that. But I do feel like there are some people out there that don't feel like black women don't need to do nothing, and I feel like you're you're one of the people that's probably do it the most. Sometimes you need some of that. You need, and I always say this. You sometimes you need a black woman's opinion, or especially if you're a black man, you need a black woman's opinion. Sometimes we could be too. How can I say? Is we're the main ones that will charge it to the game all the time. Like men, if something happens, we'll charge it to the game. And sometimes, even if the rules are unfair, we'll charge it to the game. And one thing I've always appreciated about black women, when they see something that's fucked up, they will speak up about it. Like even if it's wrong, they'll speak up about it. And sometimes we need that. Just like when I know this is like simple, but it's always funny when they get your order wrong and your woman go up to them to make sure you get your order right. Sometimes you need that because if sometimes the dudes would just, you know what, I just fucking need it. I don't feel like bugging it. Sometimes you be like, nah, excuse me, you got my man's order wrong. I need you to take this back and fix it. Sometimes we need that. We need that on our side. But I do uh, feel like it's just we just got to work together and we need to siphon out our problems and start actually fixing them instead of just keep complaining. Because the more kids complain, the more shit's not gonna get done.
Concur.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It's like
any
everything starts in the household. It's crazy.
I've always said that, and maybe because I live in a two-person household, and I just figure out it's like there's some things that, and I don't need to regurgitate this. Some things just need to stay in house, and some things we just need to fix. We don't need to let everybody know our problems. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we just gotta fix them in house. I not only did I learn that in the black household, I learned that in the military too, especially in engineering. It's just like, does it need to go up to the highest standard? No. If we could nix it at this level, then it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to go that higher.
Yeah.
We should be able to fix our problems without having the government or the white man to come fix it for us because you're not going to like the way they fix the problems. So, any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Bruh, do better.
Speaking of doing better, what's wrong with ASAP Rocky, father?
Oh my God, no. Listen, you had one job. It was so easy. All you had to do, nigga, all you had to do was just do nothing. You remember that fucking Magic Conch SpongeBob episode? Nothing.
Yeah,
That's all
nothing.
you had to do. That's literally all you had to do.
Yo, not only you fucking another bitch, you fucking another bitch in Rihanna's camp. So
Bro, the woman is pregnant.
why? Why?
I don't know if it's confirmed. I don't know if it's real, but I'm just saying, please let this not be true because like she's pregnant. She don't need that right now. Her pregnancy should be stress-free. You know what I'm saying? Like she's having a child. Don't do nothing to embarrass her. Don't do nothing to put her shit out on the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh
It's,
no.
it's not only that, there's women that was calling you a dusty, and first of all, I was like, this nigga make millions of dollars. I know he don't have Rihanna money, but that dude do make money. So I ain't never heard of a dusty millionaire in my life. But I hope it's not true because it's just you make niggas like me look bad that defend you. It's just like, and you don't want to talk about that she's the one, or she might be the one you want to marry. You already have a kid with her, so all you had to do is just keep it in your pants, my brother.
Brother, all you had to do was sit down, literally.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you are living like most women's. I mean, not most women, but like most people's dreams right now in your position. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you had to do was sit down. That's all I'm saying.
You sit your ass down.
Just sit your ass down.
Not only that, I gotta look at all the black women that I continually tell them that black men don't cheat, and then now they're gonna look at me like, mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna sit there with the dumb nigga look.
And then I gotta sit there with that.
Hey, listen, shit. All right, so damn.
That nigga. And my only excuse is that nigga from Harlem. I don't know.
That nigga from Harlem. I think he got. I don't know. He might have some European on him, but maybe.
You know what? That's sweet. Whatever happened in that Swedish jail, I don't know. I think they gave him that wrong.
That might be a clone. That might be a clone.
I mean, he did say he had a fucking problem, so I gotta make up dumbass excuses that y'all know that this shit don't fly. That's it. Don't. But it ain't. But as you say, it ain't about me. It's about you. I hope it's real because, like Father said, you don't need it, and black men don't cheat. I'm still throwing it out.
Damn.
Well,
I'm still. Go ahead, Kristen.
With Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, I follow them closely because they're both from Barbados, so those are my peeps.
Yeah.
So I've been, as soon as I saw the news, I've been checking it every minute that I can to see the updated version. And just 2 hours ago, they said that the Twitter is going off since Thursday afternoon, all this stuff, but nothing's been confirmed. Nothing's been confirmed. So I feel like it's fake. That's what I'm praying for and hoping for, because think about it. It just seems too coincidental. Of all people he's going to fuck someone close to home. It doesn't sound like what a Bayesian man would do. And then he wanted Rihanna for a while now. Like, I don't think that he would fumble the ball like that, but whatever. So I'm just saying it's probably not true. But if it is, then he ain't so Caribbean that I thought. No Caribbean man can fuck close to home. I'm just keeping it real.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Man.
I was hopeful for him. I hope. Because I'm like, I remember those people that were saying settled, and I'm like, I wonder if those people that were hating so much set this up or made that tweet.
Oh, they was waiting for him to fuck up. It's just it's like I don't understand. I don't understand how that's settling. But I guess we could get into that another time. Any last words before we move on to our final topic?
Just sit down. Sit down.
Black men don't cheat.
I hate black people.
So, I'm still throwing that out there. Fuck y'all. Now we're about to get into our final thoughts, and I'm going to start with Crystal.
All right. So my final thought is about mothers taking care of their children. I always go back to this because I've noticed that a lot of moms, they love to beat down on their sons in place of their anger for for their son's father, or the anger that they might have in their own personal stuff. Like, moms don't realize they sometimes do this. So, what I would say, and I've said it before in the podcast, is to have as much meetings as you can with your family. And when it comes to your sons, make sure that you uplift them. Don't shout at them. Don't curse at them. Don't try to hit them. Don't try to run up in their fucking face like you can do something. Because you may apologize all you fucking want, but you do it enough times, and that son does not have a man in the house or someone to tell him that you're mentally fucking ill and you need help, okay? He's gonna think this shit is okay, and then he's going to repeat the cycle of getting a woman just like you and keep making excuses as to why he's getting treated or, demonized for playing his role in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because moms, I'm sure, plenty of times have told their son, "I do everything. You don't pay for shit in this house." Like they degrade them. So when a woman does it, his wife does it, his girlfriend does it, he think, oh, he's gonna have a trigger. He's gonna have a moment of triggered emotions that was never dealt with because the mom always demasculated him. So all I'm saying is, as a mom, and I have a son my damn self, make sure that you speak with him with respect so that he can end up getting his wife or girlfriend that treats him with respect and set up boundaries, healthy boundaries. So um, that toxic curse in the family might not continue because abuse is abuse, no matter how you put it.
She probably the voice probably yells. The
It's
voice probably yells at her son all the time. It's like, I ain't trying to listen to this shit. Cut them photos. Go ahead, Krista. If you, I don't know if you was better.
no, it's probably Siri. I'm sure of it. I've been cursing her out on my phone when she doesn't go to the app that I fucking want. So it's all good. But that's all I was really gonna say. That was my last thoughts. That's all.
All right, D Wolf is on you.
Hmm. I'm just okay. Well, I'm seeing that a whole house of cards are falling right now, with a lot of revelations and lawsuits going on when it comes to the powers that shouldn't be. Like for instance, the Clintons, they're being sued right now, and the whole Hunter Biden laptop situation. It seems to me because what's going on and who's supposedly in charge, this is just things are just getting worse because, and again, because people keep saying yes to them. So it just looks like, based on everything I'm seeing, that the whole house of cards are gonna fall. So I'm just hopeful that this happens sooner than later. These things are being dropped little at a time, and I just hope everybody prepares. Like I hope nobody riots in the streets because a lot of certain people are gonna end up in jail. A lot of them. So, yeah, I'll just stop it there because if I say more than that, I'll probably nuke your channel. I'm just
Look,
hopeful because I'm always, I'm always optimistic. Not always, but when it comes to certain things, because that's why I gather so much information, so I'll know what to be optimistic about. But, so yeah, things are looking good. I just hope it ends quickly.
I don't know if you was here when we was talking about all the CEOs was stepping down. So I'm pretty sure that was like the start of whatever it is that
Oh
you are
yeah,
predicting. So
that's why
I
they're
expect
doing
it
wild
like a,
shit like launching themselves into space and shit,
yeah.
because they try to have their fun while they still can.
I
So
expect in a year or two we gonna see some bullshit. We be like, seen that coming. So I'm with you on that, Divas. Fada is on you.
I'm tired. I might be in the early stages of burnout.
Hmm.
I've been there.
Bruh.
I've been there.
I don't want to. This is gonna be like my third time being here. If it's like, if I'm going the pace I'm going, it's about to be my third burnout. Ugh. And it's
Burnout
not
sucks.
yet, bruh. And it's like I don't want to deal with this again. but I live in such an inadequate ass society, bro. And it's hard to do shit because people just fuck around. Ugh. But yeah, that's my little rant.
That's it.
Yeah.
Two things. One, I wanted to talk about Benzino, getting, I guess, having an affair with a trans woman, and I don't know if he knew if that person was trans or not. But I've been saying this for a long time. Some of y'all are going to get caught, and I'm not going to lie. If I've seen what she looked like, even though her face is kind of like shaped like a peach, I could see people like getting caught up with her. Like what's the one that was taking the pictures with all the rappers and then they didn't know she was trans? Was Sydney Star? I, I seen that. Normally I would make fun of Benzino, but I sometimes he looked very distraught to a point where he was just like, "This shit will ruin me," and he's just you can tell he's like really going through it. So I'm gonna leave him alone on that because you can see he's already beating himself up, and everybody else, like 50 Cent, is really getting on him. And you know, if 50 gets on you, it don't need to even like add on to it. So I hope you saw whatever you're going through, Benzino, because woo, I know that I wouldn't pray that on anybody, sadly. The second thing is, uh, I'm probably with Father. I know Father will agree on this. This whole Black American, Caribbean, and African like in-house fighting about who's black or not. This is like the dumbest fucking arguments I've ever seen on Twitter.
Wow.
We all black. I understand. I
Oh.
understand there are some people that I understand there are some people that that was born in America. Maybe there's a few that was born in America that was actually native that are black and dark skin. But we all black. At the end of the day, we all black. Even the Samoans, y'all just Samoan niggas. We all black. It's just why are we having this fucking
Simone.
argument? I always say
Yo.
it because it's like this one. The second dumbest argument is like Dwayne the Rock Johnson don't appreciate his black side. The nigga is black and Samoan. If you ever seen Samoans, that's what they are. They just Samoan niggas. All right, they're just happy ass niggas. If you ever just ask me, they just, hey brother, don't worry about it. That's them. All right. But as far as this whole shit on Twitter, and they're not black Americans, and this is some of the dumbest shit that I feel like we're
Wait,
just
what
so
was
bored.
said? What was said again?
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm going to break it down. So basically, there is a segment of Black Americans that believe that they say that they're aboriginal to this land. And because of that, they get to dictate what blackness is in America. So if an African comes over, for example, right? So let's say, you have a Nigerian comes over to America. You are not Black American, you are Nigerian American. If you have someone from Jamaica coming over, you're not Black American, you're Jamaican American. If you have a child if you have a child and the child is in America, they're not Black American, they're Jamaican American or whatever race that you got it with to make the child. That's what they're trying to say. And when I tell you this is some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, because they're black. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just black. As a matter of fact, you can even go back to even before the countries had their independence, they all refer to themselves as black. Even if you go to the Caribbean and you saw their political movements, what do they call themselves? Black. In Africa, what did they call themselves when they figured out, oh, this colonization ain't shit ain't working? What they call themselves? Black. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's silly. This is silliness.
So I'm saying this can be done without the division. I'm telling you.
So sorry.
Go ahead, Crystal.
So let me get this straight. They can come together on Twitter to talk about how black or non-black they are, but not put their fucking money together so that we can actually have the dollar flip more than one time. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of having conversations about that, we're having conversations about who's black and who's not.
All right. So as far as I'm concerned, those kind of
silly.
people are not even human. Can we put them with the animals because they act like it?
This is Twitter, right? Sorry,
Yes,
Chris.
this is Twitter.
This is. Somebody once said Twitter's the devil's anus, like straight up. Oh God. Sorry, Crystal. Go ahead.
A big flaming anus. That's what it's. So
And you know what? It doesn't have to be because there's so many pockets of Twitter. Like, first of all, Twitter has got to be the funniest place I've ever. Like, motherfuckers are funny. People are funny. Okay.
Yes.
Like, if I need a good ass laugh, I go on Twitter because niggas are funny as hell. But like, besides that, you also have the undesirables. You also have the people that just talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not anything of substance. It's not anything to help anybody. They just speak.
Yep.
You're saying words. You have a mouth and sound is coming out of your mouth.
That's why I screenshot these motherfuckers. Every time I get into one of them, I always screenshot it because I just let them dig themselves a hole and screenshot it because they always end up deleting it after the argument.
Yeah, or like sometimes you'll be trying to have a conversation with somebody on Twitter, like you're not even trying to, bro. You're just trying to exchange information. You know, you know some shit, I know some shit. Let's build. Like, what's up?
Yeah, but someone just comes out of nowhere,
bro. Then they get so fucking emotional because they done said something that they disagreed with, and they take it as a personal attack. And I'm like, yo, chill.
I'm like, was this your thread? Hold up, yo. I ain't following. Did I address you? Did I add your fucking hashtag or your? I didn't say your name. So where'd you come from?
But like,
it's hilarious how they do that shit.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, all I just want to say is that, like, I mean, there are so many black people like across the world that are inspired by Black American culture and their contributions to the world. This is why Black Americans are some of the most respected black people in the world, if you ask me. Like, what African or Caribbean do you know don't respect Black Americans? Name one. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody emulates it, yo. You hear their music, go to any fucking country, yo. It's us they playing. It's hip hop they playing, son. It'll be their version, but trust me, you'd swear somebody from the States until you hear somebody spit in their language.
Man, I remember the early 2000s when Sean Paul and them came through and everybody claimed they was Jamaican or Trinidadian or Barbados or Bijan, what they was. Everybody thought they had some Caribbean in them. I was like, shut up. Like, now everybody, we Black Americans is like, nah, yeah, but I hate people.
Something was wrong when I was at a call center job in 2018, I believe. And I looked at these two people and they're like, where are you from? I said, I'm from New York, but most of my family's from Barbados. And they were like, oh, you ain't black.
Wow.
And I said, so what am I? Black with a hint of mint, like what the fuck? And they started laughing. I was not laughing with these motherfuckers.
So they know the history of Beijing. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. So then I looked at them. I said, and where are you from? Oh, yeah, we were born here. But come to find out, the girls, half of her family's from Haiti, and then the other one, he was born and raised in Florida or whatever. But most of his family's from like down south or whatever, Mississippi or that area. And I'm just like, so how am I not black? What am I then? Oh, you're Caribbean. I'm like, right.
Caribbean black
is not a race.
The fuck?
Caribbean is not a race.
It took everything out of me not to wrap their necks with the phone cord. Like, don't do that.
That's the dumbest shit in the world. That's like telling a Chinese person, you're not Asian. Like, what?
Ridiculous.
That's so weird. But you know what? At the same time, though, I understand where it's coming from. It's this fucking institution that, like, you gotta remember, like, this miseducation thing is huge. Like, they deeply miseducated a lot of people to the point where they can't even recite their own history anymore. Yet you ask some random ass white person, they can recite all their motherfucking history. You can ask some random ass Asian person, they know all their history, all their grandfathers and shit. But it's like with them, and it's so sad to see because this was imposed on them. We see the evil that that was imposed on these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, what African and Caribbean is not going to get sad when they hear about the shit that's going on in America? Because it hits close to fucking home. You feeling what I'm saying?
Education, yo.
Like that shit hits close to home. Like you know, when I hear about the Caribbean history and the shit that the black people there went through, like the Caribbean was referred to as like that's where they actually punished the slaves.
Yeah.
Bruh, the reason why Jamaican quote unquote has a homophobic problem is because of buck breaking. That shit actually used to fucking happen in the Jamaican slave colonies. And it got so fucking bad to the point where it created a psychological type of like fear within that culture when it comes to like you know, being the homosexual, like all of that shit. You can look all of that shit up. Like it is right there, it's documented, but people don't do their fucking research, and we constantly have to tell them like, yo, even if you don't believe the history, even if you think the history is bullshit, just look at the reality. Like look at the fucking reality. It's literally right there in front of you.
I deep dived on that history, yo, and I found out shit that I was like, I didn't think it was possible. When I was a kid, right, I used to be like, yo, I used to say this as a kid a lot. I was like, I swear Jamaicans are like the Irish of the islands when you think of them in England, of the UK. Like they're like the Irish version of the British people, you know? I used to say it as a kid. Then I come to find out that the Jamaicans are basically black people were running a lot of Europe, right? And then when the what are these people called? Anyway, the Anglos came and pushed us out of Europe, out of Ireland. They brought us to the islands. They brought us to Jamaica. And what they did was they call this prima nocta, where they breed us out to change the color and everything. So what they do is they enslave the blacks or maim the men or maim them or kill them. And then they'll keep the women and they'll just breed them with the white dudes. Just breed them because we all know that black women could produce any race. So they just kept breeding them out. So all of Ireland now is all redheaded white, redheaded white people, right? So fast forward. So now in Jamaica, when you hear them talk, if you were to, you can hear the similarities in the accents. And then when it comes to the Irish people in America now, how they were treated back in those days during the days when Africans and blacks were being enslaved in America, they were getting the same type of treatment. So now it makes even more sense, And it's the same thing with the with Bajans. When you hear them, you're hearing the Scottish accent in them. And I read that the Scots were blacks as well, and they were brought over when the slave trade hit, and mixed in some color, and that's what we have now. So when Crystal says that's what that bitch said to her, and I'm like, you can't tell her that. You're more far removed. Don't play games. Oh my God. This is insane. That's what I'm saying. It does not matter. Stop it. It does not matter. We are all black. Stop this shit.
Like I said, the people that are talking about this stuff on the Twitter, I ain't talking about the intelligent people trying to make blind people like that see. I'm talking about them just blind. They just want to stay stuck on stupid shit, except what is to uplift them financially and emotionally in the right, healthy context. They just need to have an island all by themselves so they could all say, ooh, we all come from the same fucking island, because apparently that's more important than flipping the fucking American dollar. People come from different countries and can flip it 10 times more than the people that's been born on this fucking land. You want to stay stuck on Twitter talking about bare foolishness.
They want to be better black. Fucking stupid.
How?
Fucking stupid. That's how they acting. They want to be the better blacks.
And
Fucking
it's so funny. And it's so funny because if they win, we win too. Just like if the Caribbean wins, I win and they win. Like we all win, bruh.
We ain't like that. We don't have that blood in us. Get out of here. Thank you.
Like I'm not gonna support someone. Oh, bro, he from Nigeria. I don't really like you. See how stupid that fucking sounds.
Mhm.
But if we want to get technical here, Nigerians or anyone who tries to scam America is doing more than BLM today. So shut the fuck up and keep it moving. Because
Yeah, didn't they just? Yeah, exactly. Didn't they just find one of the women just buy like a $6 million house or some shit?
she motherfucking did. And you know what? She's not, as far as I'm concerned, she don't even look like a woman.
She don't look human, yo. Compared to the way she looked in the beginning, her old videos, and now I'm like, what is this monster? Yo,
I love Goon Crystal. Goon Crystal is cool.
Yeah, Chris, this is just like that anomaly talk you and I had. Just as you. Oh,
But yeah, all in all, in conclusion, I love everybody who's black except the coons. Like we don't fuck with the coons, but you know, like I don't really care who from where. Like if you American, I love you. If you from Caribbean, I love you. If you from Africa, I love you. Like damn, it's simple. Why you making it hard?
So I keep telling people it's not a color thing, it's a bloodline thing. You gotta pay attention to that shit. Because those are the ones that are, trust me, those are the coons. the one with the wrong bloodline. The one that's easy to bow down to the white man.
Right, but if you spell coon backwards, it spells nuke. So we need to nuke those motherfuckers. Because it's in their name. We should do them justice.
Oh man.
Damn, I just hit the Weebay face. God damn. That shit was clever. That was
it's like Morgan Freeman said, a snitch is human. A rat is a fucking rat.
Also, and the last thing we want to talk about, because especially when it comes to hip hop, I don't know, people don't understand that some of the forefathers of hip hop, they have either Caribbean or African backgrounds. So it's just like the main music that most black people love, it comes from Caribbean / African roots, especially in the drums. So I don't. So you really can't be telling like people they're not black.
Yeah, they'll fight you on that too.
It's true though. It's like
I'm just letting
true.
you know they will fight you on that. They will
literally cool. Cool
that's not true.
Niggas like Cool Herc, Dougie Fresh, Rick, Slick Rick. They all got Caribbean or Jamaican backgrounds. It's literally true. It's nothing. I don't know why would you fight me on that. I know it started in the South Bronx, but there's a lot of Caribbeans in the South Bronx. Like it don't make no sense. What are we fighting on?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are we fighting on? They're black, aren't they? I don't care where they're from. They black. They in the South Bronx. They make this shit. They make that shit. It don't matter. Well, it matters because your culture and where your lineage is. That's important. Like I'm not downplaying that at all. I feel like everybody has a righteous lineage, but at the same time, let's not make this like a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody trying to erase nothing. Ain't nobody trying to say that your contribution wasn't there. Everybody contributed. That's what we do. We black people. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, at the end of the day, and everything that y'all saying on this podcast is on point. But at the end of the day, what do we do to someone who's threatening our success? We look at them as an enemy, correct?
Yes.
Right. So every motherfucker that want to stay stuck on dumbass shit is an enemy to my community and my black people, the real black people, not the ones who use their skin color as a reason to be the most ignorant motherfucker alive. Because at the end of the day, I look at you as a liability. I ain't looking at race. I ain't going to be like, oh yeah, you my sister, but here you are putting down the black man any chance you fucking get. You are my enemy. So I'm just going to keep it 100. This shit needs to stop. And I'm tired of calling my sister just because of the color of her fucking skin. I got to see what comes out of her mouth and what's on her mind. Because if you're a liability, trust and believe, I am going to build a program that eliminates.
Oof.
and that's the moon I think a lot of people should be on. So, big fact. So, with that being said, I would like to thank the panel for jumping on as usual. I would like to thank all y'all for listening and hear us talk our shit again. This is, you know what, let me just say podcast and signing out. Peace.
Cheers.
Peace.